Yes, lads, and welcome back to the Jebo37 YouTube channel. Where today, guys, we're going to be talking about my EFL League 2 predictions for the season. Now, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you do go check out the last video, which is on my Vanarama National League predictions for this season. There's more predictions to come, such as League 1, Championship, and Premier League after this. So, yes, guys. Also, if you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you smash a thumbs up and tap the bell for notifications. And now, guys, I'm going to be bringing you my League 2 predictions for the season. Now, guys, this may be a controversial one, but in 24th place and rock bottom, I've got Scunthorpe United. Now, even though they conceded 64 goals last season and just scraped the relegation by 3 points in last season, Scunthorpe have gone on to lose a load of players, like more than they're just signing as a whole. Like, even though they're strengthening in the right defensive positions, they just don't have enough firepower. And for me, I think the amount of players they've lost is just going to be enough to send them down. So it's 24th for Scunthorpe United. Now for 23rd place, taking the last of the relegation spots, it's a newly promoted team in Hartlepool United. Now, Hartlepool, for me, I predicted to go back down, being one of the first teams who have got promotion. And it's just mad. The fans are not going to like this 100%, and I can guarantee that. Obviously, no one's going to like me for putting their team in the relegation spots. But the problem I see is they've lost their centre-back in Ryan Johnson to Port Vale. Now, although they have signed Olamola Olufella, he has not registered a single goal in the 5 appearances he's made for Scunthorpe last season. Now, not to mention the loss of Luke Armstrong, who was the main man last season as well. So for me, it's relegation for Hartlepool United. So in 22nd place, just scraping the barrel on relegation, I have gone for another newly promoted team in National League winners, Sutton United. Now, I reckon they'll scrape relegation, and I do think they will be the surprise team that stays up this season. Now, the problem I have is that they've done very little business, but as a team, as a unit, the more you play together, the more you seem to do well together. And how would you change a winning team? You just wouldn't. And for me, it says enough in 22nd place for Sutton United. So in 21st, I have got Barrow. Now, losing the main man who scored 14 goals for them last season in Scott Quigley could be proven to be a vital loss for them. Now, even though they have signed 2 strikers, I just don't think it's going to be enough on, like, just looking on paper, as Josh Gordon and Ofranze Zanzala have 11 goals between them. So for me, I just don't think it's enough. I do think 21st seems right for Barrow. So we're going to get the next 2 places on the screen, which is 20th and 19th place. So we've got in 20th, and the first team we're going to talk about is Oldham Athletic. Now, losing Conor McAleny to Salford City is a vital loss for Oldham Athletic. And to be honest, they've now got no firepower to be able to have that big scorer to carry it up the league. So for me, it seems right that the 20th is right for Oldham. Now, going on to 19th place, it could be a bit of surprise, but it could be a bit not. It's Harrogate Town. So for 19th place at the moment is Harrogate in my predictions, and it seems like a steady place to be in for Harrogate. The only 2 things that can prove me wrong this season is forwards Danilo Orsi Dadomo, who scored 19 goals last season in the National League for Maidenhead, and Luke Armstrong, who was coming from Salford City, but also netted 15 goals for Hartlepool last season. Now, the problem is a National League, boys, but even though the netting on paper in there, if they can replicate the same on League 2, it could carry Harrogate like well further up the table. Now, it's just if they can carry the form, but if not, it's 19th for Harrogate this season. So in 18th place, I have got Mansfield Town. Now, the only thing that can prove me wrong for Mansfield this season, looking at on paper, is the signing that they've made of Danny Johnson from Leyton Orient, scoring 17 goals last season. It's a big loss for Orient, but a big gain for Mansfield. And now, if they can keep Danny Johnson in form, it could be another surprise season, and I could completely get this table wrong this season. But if not, for me, it's 18th for Mansfield Town. Now we're going to talk about the next two teams in 17th and 16th. So we'll start off with 17th place. Now, for 17th, I have got Stevenage, and they have lost a lot of players in this season, like in this window, including Tom Pett to Port Vale. And to be honest, the attack on paper, it just doesn't have enough firepower for me to be able to put them any higher than 17th this season. So for me, 17th sounds good for Stevenage. Now we're going to move on to the 16th position. So we talked about Mansfield having Danny Johnson from Leyton Orient. Now in 16th, I have got Leyton Orient. Now, even though they finished 11th last season, they have also lost another main man in Connor Wilkinson to Walsall. And on paper, there'll be nobody to replace what both of them have done for Orient. So 16th for me sounds right for Leyton Orient. Now we're going to put the next three teams on screen. So we've got 15th place, 14th place and 13th place. Now in 15th place, I have got Crawley Town. So it's a bit of a tough one, but for the striker reasons, only puts Crawley ahead of Leyton Orient. If he's kept fit and well, Tom Nichols can do the same as he did last season, which is score goals for Crawley. Tom got 11 goals and 8 assists last season, and with a proven partner, I could see him do much better for Crawley Town. And now in 14th place, we have got Carlisle United. So they have recently just lost defender Reece Bennett. Obviously, boys, if you don't know Reece Bennett, I've done a podcast on Reece Bennett. Please do check that out. But we're going to go back into the video right now. So they've lost defender Reece Bennett to Gillingham. Obviously, Reece's contract expired at the end of the season. He went to Gillingham in League One. And it just makes it a very, very big loss for Carlisle. Now, the only silver lining I can see to Carlisle's team at the moment is the duo that they signed from Wigan Athletic in Corey Whelan and Zach Clough. So for me, 14th sounds right for Carlisle United. Now moving on into 13th, we have got Port Vale. Now sitting mid-table this season, obviously it's just the one below dead on mid-table. We've got Port Vale having striker Devante Rodney scoring 11 goals for them last season. They've also added to their strike force to sign striker James Wilson, the former Manchester United man from Salford City. They've also added to their midfield options, signing Tom Pett from Stevenage, and their goalkeeping options also signing Lucas, who scored in the National League final from Torquay United. Now, 13th for Port Vale seems right with me. Now, another controversial decision we have made is putting in 12th place Rochdale. Now, the last of the League One relegated teams in this prediction, well, it'll be the first, obviously, that's being mentioned, as you'll see further up the table. The rest will be around there in some way. But we have got Rochdale in 12th position. Now, very little business made from Rochdale this season, and a lot of loan returns just makes me see Rochdale finish mid-table, dead on mid-table in the first season back in League 2. Now for 11th place, I have got Walsall, and the main reasons why I've got Walsall in 11th place is signing Ash Taylor from Aberdeen and Josh Labadie from Newport County are two very, very good signings for Walsall. They're very, very experienced as well in the leagues. Obviously, Ash Taylor playing in the Scottish Premier League with Aberdeen, and Josh Labadie being a former Tranmere Rovers man and obviously playing for Newport County. It's a big improvement for Walsall this season, and when I say a big improvement, I mean a very big one. So for me, I've got Walsall in 11th place. So in 10th position now, I have got Newport County. Now, they finished 5th last season. I think they did get to the League 2 playoff final. But overall, obviously losing Josh Labadie to Walsall and goalkeeper Tom King to Salford City, I just think that there's well more strengthened teams in the league than Newport County. So for me, I think Newport will have a bit of a dip this season, and I think they will finish in 10th place. So guys, I'm going to put the next two teams on the screen for you now. So it's the two teams we have got in 9th place and 8th place that have missed out on the playoffs. And it's a very tight one. So in 9th place, I'm missing out on the playoffs. I have got Salford City. Now, even though they've signed goalkeeper Tom King from Newport County and striker Conor McAleny from Oldham Athletic, I just don't think that'll be enough firepower to keep them around that that playoff area into the playoffs, even pushing forward, because they have lost a lot of players, two of whom who are very, very experienced players playing in the Premier League. One being Darren Gibson and the other one being George Boyd. Now, nothing to take away from Salford because they have signed Conor McAleny, who did score a lot of goals for Oldham last season. But if, it could be different play styles, he might not suit it, he might not be able to net goals. So I'm just going based off who they've brought in to who they've lost and where they're going to finish this season. Now, in 8th this season, just missing out on the playoffs, I have got Exeter City. Now, they're always around the top end of the league, and to be honest, they missed out on the playoffs last season by 3 points. And to be honest, they've been very, very active in the window too. But unfortunately for Exeter fans, I've got Exeter missing out on the playoffs. Obviously, you can see the teams above them who I'll have in there, and it'll make sense to why I've got Exeter City in 8th place. So in 7th place this season, taking up a playoff position, is Northampton Town. Now that's another team who got relegated that last season from League One, but also another team who's up there taking up the last playoff position in 7th place. Now, signing Paul Lewis and Sid Nelson after their contracts expire from Tranmere are two very, very good signings. And to be honest, if he can hit the ground running, Danny Rose could also be up there for the top goal scorer award in League Two. So for me, 7th for Northampton does sit right with myself. Now in 6th place this season, taking up another playoff position, I have got Forest Green Rovers. Now, although they have lost out on striker Aaron Collins to Bristol Rovers, they still do have Jamil Matt to be able to bang in the goals for them this season. Now, I do believe if Forest Green if they are able to sign another striker that's proven, then they'll be finishing higher than 6th place for sure this season. But at the time of recording, it's 6th place for Forest Green Rovers. So in 5th place, I have got Swindon Town. Now, Swindon are the second team to be the third team to be mentioned of the 4 relegated, but the second to be in the playoffs. Now, the team is just mad being Swindon, and the strike force is going to be key this season. Now, to be honest, Brett Pittman is a machine in front of goal, and if he's kept fit and lively, I do believe Brett Pittman will probably be the highest goal scorer this season in the league. So at the time of recording, it is 5th place for Swindon Town. So the team I have got in 4th place is Bradford City. Now, after making the loan signing a permanent one in striker Andy Cook, he is one hell of a man if kept in form. Now, they also have the manager who managed Morecambe to League One last season in the playoffs in Derek Adams, so the experience in management is there already. They've also signed a very, very experienced player in Liam Rydalge, who spent his last 8 years at Tranmere Rovers experiencing relegations, promotions such as the National League promotion, the League Two promotion, so he's got a lot of experience there to be able to lead Bradford City further up the table. And yeah, guys, 4 for Bradford seems right for me. Now, for the first automatic promotion spot, we have got Colchester United taking up 3rd place. Now, for me, signing the trio from Ipswich in Luke Chambers, Cole Scouse, and also re-signing and bringing back Freddie Sears could be proved to be vital for Colchester this season in the quest for promotion to League One. They look very strong on paper this season, and for me, they can be up there if they have a very good start for the season. So for me, it's 3rd for Colchester United. So we've got 2 teams left, guys, which is in 2nd place getting the automatic promotion, and obviously 1st place winning League 2. Now we're going to talk about the first team, which in 2nd place we have got Tranmere Rovers. Now, it's a very, very near miss of 1st place, and I say this majorly. I do think the Tranmere could win the league, but I think missing the firepower for Tranmere at the moment, with the lack of goals and stuff like that, could prove to be a vital miss for them this season. Mickey Mellon for Tranmere is back, and he is back at the wheel for Tranmere, and for me he will definitely guide them back to League One, whether it is promotion or whether it is a League Champions. And if Paul Glatzel does hit form, he could be key for Tranmere this season. But for me, Tranmere do need a proven striker in League Two, and that's what separates them from second place to first place. So for me, it's second for Tranmere Rovers. So guys, it means that in first place we do have Bristol Rovers. Now, knowing that they got relegated last season, the quality in the side speaks for itself. Jack Baldwin, Paul Coots, and especially the new main man in the striker that they've signed from Forest Green and Aaron Collins. For me, it's just decided, if Aaron Collins can hit form and Bristol Rovers can perform to the quality that we all know that they can perform to, Bristol Rovers will win League Two this season. So guys, for now I am going to conclude this video, and one thing that I'm going to mention before I do conclude the video is the playoff winners. And for me, speaking about Brett Pittman and Swindon Town, I do think Swindon Town will win the playoffs. So I've got Colchester, Tranmere Rovers, Bristol Rovers and Swindon Town going up to League One. So yes guys, that concludes the video. If you haven't checked out the National League video in the predictions, do make sure you go and check that out. And any other videos I do have on this channel be absolutely appreciated. But yes guys, that is just comment as well on what teams you'd have where and place where in your predictions. But yes guys, this is the end of the video, and I hope you did enjoy it guys, and yeah, peace out and see you guys on another video.